Tyson at 300 pounds. This one punch power that he's talking about. Obviously, you predicted last time exactly what he was going to do, and it came true. Do you feel that's what really?
I really look for Fury to win quicker this time than he did last time. I really think that Fury will get Wilder out of there in a shorter period of time than it took him last time.
Why do you feel that, Bob? What do you see there?
Because I know my guy. I know what he's thinking. I know what kind of shape he's in. I mean, he had to have some trepidation when he went into the last fight with Wilder, because even though I thought he won almost all of the rounds, he still got knocked on his ass twice, and nobody expected him to get up after the second knockdown. So that's on a fighter's mind, right? Now he comes back, he gets a new trainer, Sugar Hill, and he's confident and he's full of himself, rightly so, and so he feels that he'll be able to take Wilder easier than he did last time. I mean, it's as simple as that. There's no rocket science in this.
A couple topics. Wilder and Fury, man, they're going to go down. What's your assessment about that fight, and what are some of the things you would advise Wilder to do in this third fight?
No, I would advise him to be himself. You know, he can't be anybody else. Look, he had a setback. Okay, so what? So you go and you change some things, but you don't change everything about Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder got to be who he is. And once he becomes that, then he has a great chance to become a champion again.
And Coach, you believe he can set up that one knockout shot?
Of course. I mean, he has a good jab when he uses it. He just got to be confident in his jab, and that's going to open up things for the fight.
And who would you give the edge to in that fight?
Right now, I think we got to get the edge to Fury since he won the last fight and the way he won it. But again, it depends on Deontay's mindset. If his mindset is good like it was before, if he get that back, he's going to be hell to beat.
Just go ahead.
Along with that fight, there's a big fight coming up in July, trilogy of Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. Give us your thoughts on that as well.
Another interesting fight. I'm not one to predict anything like that. The consensus would favor Fury based on the last fight, but there were so many things that happened. I think in that fight, I think that you have to look at this one as a brand new fight, because you can't not take Wilder's words as just empty talk. He was adamant about how he felt about certain things, and regardless of what it looks like or what it seems like, you have to give him the benefit of the doubt. So whether all these allegations are true or not remains to be seen, but the good thing about it is that there's another fight that's going to answer all these questions. So right now, based on the last fight, you'd have to favor Fury. But again, we know that Wilder's working hard. We know that he has the potential and the ability to turn a fight around. It's 12 rounds. He can conceivably get his shots through and upset the apple cart. So we'll have to see.
Wilder Fury 3. It's the biggest fight, right? The heavyweights. How does that fight play out with Wilder, kind of being with Malik Scott now and that difference? And
I mean, you know what? I think it's all gonna play off, how he is mentally. As long if he's mentally strong, and we know he's got that power. Fury's gotta be careful with that power. But I don't know, man. I think I like Fury on this one again.
Another one, Wilder Fury, the trilogy.
Another one.
How does that play out?
I got Wilder winning that.
How?
Well, I've seen him doing different stuff that he didn't do in his camp, so he's a little bit more loose in there. Only thing I just got to see is going to translate in the ring.
I hear a lot of trainers say that. I hear a lot of boxing people say that. Maybe from the outside in. What is it different that you see in the training videos that he's released?
Well, a lot of times it depends on his right hand, but stuff that I'm saying that he's been being taught some different things, so hopefully it's been translate in the ring that night.
Wilder versus Fury, how does that fight play out, do you think?
Oh, Fury's gonna win again because, on the last one, I think Fury took everything away from Wilder, man. He took his soul. And after a beating like that, you will not come back with the same. He'll have a trauma in his head already. You know, I've seen it before. I've seen it since Jeff Lacey fought Joe Galzahi, and it's like, I mean, once you take a beating like that, your mind is no longer the same. You're no longer the same. He's gonna come back, and I mean, that trauma is gonna be there. And I think Fury will beat him, be Wilder.
Do you think it's any different than when Anthony Joshua lost to Ruiz and he was stopped the recovery time to, you know, maybe 3 or 4 months? You don't think Deontay Wilder having a year and a half off with the league will be able to come back in there and get
I don't think so. As a former boxer, I can tell you this: it could be 2 years, 3 years, and you will never that will never come out, and that will never be forgotten. Anthony Joshua with Andy Ruiz, that was just he thought it was gonna be an easy fight. I can see it from the beginning, even walking in the ring before they announce him. I mean, it's like he's the last-minute replacement. Andy Ruiz is the last-minute replacement, so he's there like saying, "Man, I'm gonna fight this guy. Come on, you know." So he was too confident that was an easy fight. He never expected Andy to do what he did, and when he realized that it was too late, he was already hurt, so he didn't recover. So on the second one, he decided to box, you know, and be smart. But even though he went in the ring for the second fight, he knew that Andy Ruiz is a threat, so he decided to do a smart move, you know, box him around, keep him away, and that's what happens. But on the Fury Wilder, I don't think Wilder will recover from this last beating, and I think that the same outcome is going to come. Same.
So what's different from Wilder taking one loss than most fighters taking one loss?
It was just the way of the beating that he took that night. You know, it was bad. It was brutal. I mean, sometimes fighters, you know, take a loss, but not with such damage that he took that night. That will leave a scar in your mind forever. So, and it builds the confidence on Fury to come in and saying, okay, I did it once, I'll do it again, and he already knows.
I think the scar you talked about, I think it motivated Deontay Wilder.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, when you got that magnitude of a fight, you have to show some motivation. Obviously, but behind your mind, there's always that, man, you know, the last time was hard. You know, let's see how it goes. Let's try it. And sometimes when the tough gets going, hey, you have to push through. Regardless, you're already in the ring. What Wilder needs to do on this one, he needs to be smarter than the first one. How? He needs to be more cautious. He needs to pick his shots and not get reckless like he did, because he was reckless in the first one. He was getting in there reckless. Instead of getting in there and trying to look for the knockout, be smart. Pick your shots. You know, frustrate Fury, frustrate him, and put in the work. You know, don't go in there trying to look for the knockout in the early rounds, because since he knows that he has a power, he tries to look for the knockout in the early rounds, and what happens? He unloads and he wears out, and then when he's wore out, that's when Fury starts picking up. You know, so he needs to just basically pace himself for 12 rounds, be smart, and pick the right shots.